So this is a very key turn because...
Oh wow, they all have 7. Well, not all of them, but that was pretty unlucky.
Yeah. So this is a pretty key turn. I can kill a lot of these enemies, but I don't want to risk like being in range. But I do need to block the ballistas next turn because I think they spawn turn 7. So I need people to move closer, but I don't want people to be in death range. I do need to get rid of the enemies. Now, mages are pretty hard to kill, but I was kind of paranoid about which ones I would leave alive. And if someone is in range of the Masterlands generals, they would also be pretty scared. So it's just kind of tricky to see like what exactly am I going to do with all my units. I mean, Finn is like whatever, I just need to figure out which choke point to place him so that Lara is safe. I'm just trying to think like how do I maximize her and Imelda. I want like Imelda to go outdoors and mount and maybe be danced. I forgot what I ended up like doing for my final plan. Oh, I wanted to heal Finn because he's like kind of damaged.
They didn't even mount her. Crazy.
Yeah, that was a pretty big misplay. I forgot if it ended up mattering or not for her damage output. Imelda is like not very durable, except against mages.
Oh, nice movement star.
Nice movement star, yeah. Nice bailing out. As you can see, she has like 30 magic, which is like, as I said, it's the highest in the game for staff users if you take the fire sword into account. But I have the fire sword on Fergus, and I only got 1. So she's like pretty much invincible against mages, but armor knights can like screw with her pretty bad, and there are 2 of them. So I'm kind of hoping that I can put Finn in front of her. I think that's what I ended up doing. I'm not sure. But I wanted to clear these guys out because Finn and Imelda, there's also spawn points where they are at. I also need to block from there. I think there's like 1 ballista that I have to block on that side. For the most part,
I seem to recall that the majority of the problematic enemies, though, do tend to come from the left. From what I remember, I don't know. You probably remember better than me.
I think it's mostly symmetrical, but the focus of the reinforcements is in the middle of the map, I would say.
Huh, the more you know, I guess.
Yeah. Like, I'll try to show it in the sidebar or something, because like I have gigantic black bars that I can make use of for these videos out. I can probably just put pictures of WOD there or something. Also, one thing I'm like kind of keeping in mind is these priests. They're not like a high priority target or anything, but they can go for the throne if they walk past me, and if they like, if they get past me and I can't catch up to them, then I lose. Because I think the throne is also if it sees it's a game over. I'm pretty sure that's the
yep, absolutely.
Yeah. I've never had it happen in this map because like that would be very embarrassing, but I did keep it in mind, and I didn't want it to happen on a recording of an Iron Man, so I'm very paranoid about it. And like one of Asphalt and Orson is going to have to be the one who blocks the spawn point of the ballista on the left.
Oh, that's a little bit unfortunate. They're both very, very useful units.
Yeah, I mean, you can still do stuff. Like, I believe the spawn point of the ballista is actually the very exact square where the bishop is. Either that or the one right next to him. Yeah, I think it's the one right to him. So they do need to move a little bit closer, because this is turn 6 and I spawn on turn 7. So next turn is when I have to have 4 units occupy those spots. And I think they're like where the bishops are roughly, and then right to the left and to the right of the boss formation. And if I can't kill the boss, pretty much Fergus is one of the only people who can be there and be safe. But Fergus is also one of the few people who can like fight these people and be safe, because he's like a combination of like very, very mobile, so he can canto after killing one of them or something, so that he's like in a position that's like less threatened. He's pretty durable, and he has high crits. I don't think he has an armor slayer, but he has like a guaranteed crit basically.
Yeah, truth be told, Fergus doesn't really benefit as much as somebody like Ralph. I think that was definitely a smarter choice to put it on Ralph for sure. Fergus can just rely on stupidly high PCC.
Yeah. Here comes a pretty greedy capture on my part, honestly. I feel like I don't think I was very sure yet on what exactly I wanted to do, just that Dagdar had to kill his mage because there's no other enemy he can reach. But I don't think I should have captured, because I might have needed him to do stuff next turn, and now someone has to take that mage off him. And it's not like I need Thunder Tomes as badly as I just want to keep my units alive. So I think this was a very risky move on my part. It's very hard to like think out your formations for this kind of thing, especially if you're like recording, you don't want to take forever. Because like, if anyone is in range of these master lances, they can die. But I do need to get there to kill these people, and like the boss especially is just so threatening with the master axe, and I'm like super traumatized by these people killing my guys.
That does kind of go back to what we were talking about at the beginning of the map, where it really rewards you for moving, though, because this could be a lot more of a mess if you just turtle it out. You know what I mean?
Yeah, I mean the map has a lot of natural choke points, but it forces you to fight in a place where there's like no choke points, so it's kind of wide open, and it's pretty smart. I mean, I feel like you could probably still turtle this map if you wanted to, just block the place, and then when the boss starts moving, you can probably warp and kill him.
I totally forgot about that. I don't know if I've ever tried playing it that way, so I honestly didn't know that he...
I mean, even if he didn't start moving, you could probably get to him, but he's like very tough to kill with a warp skip when you think about it, because he has a scroll, so you cannot crit him. You would have to like, I think it would have to be like Fergus with an armor slayer. So here I'm thinking like, if I want to kill these guys, I think we're still on turn 6. These turns are taking like longer and longer every turn because I'm like thinking so much. I think it's still turn 6. Yeah, it should be.
Yeah.
And I want Fergus to be in a I would like Fergus to kill a general on his player face and then get in a position to kill another one, and or maybe even like fight the boss. But I'm still not sure because you can see he takes like 10 damage from a Master Lance. He has like 35 HP. So if he fights 2 generals or a general on the boss, he has a chance of dying. At the same time, it's a very low chance. I'm also thinking like I can reduce the hit rate of the enemy by putting Nana near him, but I don't want Nana to move before him because then I can't heal him if he gets hit this player phase. So I'm trying to like decide what the better odds are. Yeah.
Well, I mean, I know this is after the fact, but I think you would have been fine either way, unless you're saying... So he would have to get hit by every single attack in order to have a chance of death, or...
Not everyone. He would have to face 4 attacks by these Master Lances to have a chance of dying. So if he's in range of 2, he would have to get hit by every single one of them. But that's not taking into account like anything he takes on player phase and any of the mages, because those also do damage to him. Not as much because the Fire Sword boosts his resistance. Also, I think I got kind of unlucky here by not getting a crit. I know it's not like a guaranteed. His skill is kept at 20.
No, but that's 50% by default right there. On a follow-up attack.
Yeah, the follow-up like should be 100, right? Because his skill is.
Well, skill is actually just your crit in this game, isn't it?
Yeah, but I think the generals have some luck that ended up negating some crit, and that ended up making it like a lower chance.
Oh wow, that's insanely unlucky because luck is only it's not.
It's like 5 luck or something.
Luck for 1 crit essentially, so. That's really unlucky.
Yeah, and he could also have crit on the first hit, so this was really distracting. Also, I don't know what Nana is doing in range of a general. That's kind of weird.
She'll be fine.
Well, she does get 2 hit KO'd, so I'm actually kind of surprised I did
Wait.
this. That's pretty weird. That's pretty whack. What am I doing? I think... Weird. Very weird. Farn gets like a movement star, but there's like no place for him to go to be like very safe. I think it can steal that Mage's Thunder without. Yeah, that seems pretty safe.
I love stealing in this game so much. That's one thing that I really hope that they bring back in FE16. Just let me steal random crap from people, dude.
Stealing
it's
everything
one of the most fun, satisfying ways to eliminate a threat. I swear.
Stealing everything is like pretty broken, but at least like build limited. This is when I realized Terra has like a rescue staff for emergencies, but at this point I have multiple people who could potentially die if things go very wrong. So saving one person from death doesn't really like make things more likely to succeed without death. So I decided not to use it and just kill another guy. But at this point I am pretty scared because these generals might not do weird stuff. I don't get why Nana is in range of general. I'm pretty sure I would have noticed. So weird shit.
Did you get rid of the Earth Sword? Because that would...
no, but it wouldn't really save her from Master Lances, yeah.
Yeah.
And like, Leaf isn't even in range.
I don't know what you were thinking.
I don't know what I was thinking either. That's pretty fucking weird. I'm just like pissed that these like all generals are alive before the player phase ends. Stupid Fergus, man. Can't you do anything?
Yeah.
I want to show off. I want to show off Xavier's combat because like Sarah's gonna cap all her stats when promoting anyway. So let's just shoot this guy down and be done with it.
Nice crit there, Xavier. Totally necessary.
Might just be all the EXP he gets this playthrough until the final chapter. Who knows? So, turn 6 enemy phase.
Well, in all fairness, though, he doesn't really need all that much. He's pretty much good from base.
So this guy's like, fuck it, I have a vulnerary. I'm not risking my life here. So he's gonna stay alive even longer.
Smart man.
Smarter than most enemies. And also Imelda is like surprisingly tanky here actually, but this guy is kind of weak. And thankfully he blocks the way for the other generals. Oh, there's no other generals. The other guy's on the side. Never mind. I'm talking out of my butt. As I said, I don't remember everything crystal clear anymore. I just remember that this map was scary, slightly tedious, long, and defensive.
Defense chapters in a nutshell.
Yep. This guy does so much damage though. Like,
oh my god, yeah.
Die. But yeah, this guy goes for Fergus instead of Nana, which is like super strange. I really don't know what he was thinking, but Thracia, I guess. Please, Fergus, just crit this guy. Just crit this guy. Get rid of him. So annoying. Yep.
Goodbye.
God.
There
God.
it is.
Okay. So now the boss is open for attack, which is like critical.
Now, weirdly enough, I don't think killing the boss actually ends the reinforcements on this map. Now, does
it ends some reinforcements at the end, but it doesn't end all of them. So, if that could stop the ballista reinforcements instead of this awkward positioning, covering bullshit I have to do, then I would gladly take it. But instead,
absolutely.
Instead, it's like almost the same thing where if you want to cover for the reinforcements, you have to kill the boss. Just because if you don't kill the boss, then he's going to be in your range. Also, the priest is like running for it. He's
yeah,
like, I'm getting that throne. I'm getting that throne. And I think he has like about as much movement as most of the people nearby, like Leaf and Ralph. Or Leaf
if he seized, would that be the end of the playthrough?
No, I actually made a rule for that in the Iron Man, where if he seizes, it counts as a game over, not caused by Leaf death. And but those still count as like a Leaf death. I would still have to like kill a random unit for that game over. It doesn't count as like Leaf being dead for the cases of the poll, for the betting pool.
Yeah.
But there would be a random unit sacrifice basically, and I would restart the map and play as Neo.
Man, you had some really crazy people in that poll, dude. People thinking you're like the worst player of all time. Oh, he'll only save Galzus.
Like, can't blame them. If I'm looking at the way I've been playing some of this map, I can't really blame people for that. So yeah. I think if Homer or Orson goes there and kills that bishop, that covers one ballista thing, and that's pretty good. But it's like, it's so hard to find a way to safely do this. And killing the boss is also massively difficult because he has like so much HP, so much defense. And Ralph has my armor slayer.
He's a pretty formidable boss for sure.
Yeah.
And that scroll on top only makes it even more obnoxious.
Yeah, I was thinking about stealing the scroll with Parn at some points.
Mm-hmm.
But then Parn is there, has to be rescued out of the way. Either that or all the people around him had to die. Because Parn, I don't think he dies to one Master Lance hit, but he definitely dies to two. And if he's in that spot in front of the boss, he would be in range of 3 people.
I guess it doesn't really matter at this point, but couldn't you have like stolen the scroll and then crit him with Fergus, or would that not be enough probably?
That would work, but I would still have the 2 generals there, and if I dedicate that many resources to that maneuver, I don't think I could cover the tiles safely. Like the person holding Parn would lower their stats, so they probably couldn't cover without being in like death range.
Mm-hmm.
And the thing about Dagdar, for example, is you can kill like a general without dying, I think. But the boss like one-rounds him because of charge. if not charge, I don't think he gets 2-hit KO'd. He might. I think the boss is 35 attack. That might actually 2-hit KO Dagdar.
Well, wait. Would the boss even get charge on him though? Because he has more HP.
That's a good point. It activates at the start of the map, so yeah, maybe he wouldn't charge.
But I guess it doesn't really matter at this point. What happens is gonna happen. But I don't know. I like talking about Fire Emblem for some reason.
Yeah, I actually really enjoyed like talking and strategizing, both live and not live. But you can see Rapier does 8 damage with Fergus, which is not a whole lot, and then Brave Sword does like 11. And it's like gross. At least he outspeeds and like quads, so that's pretty good. And I'm thinking, this should be okay if I crit. That's what I'm thinking, because I forgot about the fucking scroll when I was calculating. Yes, I forgot about the fucking scroll, so I just go for it. I'm like, okay, I'll probably get a crit, right? The boss is like, you're not getting a crit.
I assume that's what he said, yeah.
And he also has Pavice, or Great Shield, I believe, because he's a Baron. So, yeah, he's now weakened to 12 HP, and I'm thinking, well, this should be alright. I'll just finish him off with, I don't know, Dagdar or Homer, and I will kill the generals with like the other one of those 2, maybe Orson. And, we should be okay, right? And I decided to dedicate Fergus to that spot because Amela and Finn failed at breaking through all the armor knights, so he's the only one who could block that spot. That's why I was thinking for a long time, actually. I remember now, is like the spot on the right had to be defended and had to be Fergus, so it was really just a matter of where's he going. So.
No, don't do it with Homer. No, not Homer. He's your only sage, man. What do you?
I think he did 10 damage with the lightning, which is his strongest tome, so I was like, oh fuck, Homer cannot kill the boss, and I don't think he even doubles. or if he does, it's like after he gets attacked. So I'm like, maybe Dagdar, but Dagdar would have to hit 2 Brave Axe hits or 1 hammer hit, or he dies. So I'm going back to Homer, thinking like, well, maybe Homer can like dodge 1 out of 2, you know? maybe
that's dangerous.
Maybe that's the way. Man. Yep, it's dangerous thinking. Maybe with Wind, he like maximizes his avoid, and I'm like, fuck, this is so hard. Because, you know, I still got PTSD, but even if, like, theoretically, even if Homer attacks once and then dies, I can kill him with someone else. Merida, nope, not gonna cut it. Like, theoretically, I could risk Merida, hope to get a Luna crit, or a Luna proc, because I think Merida's sword with Luna proc kills. So I'm like, alright, I'm moving Leaf in range so that whoever is attacking gets the Kingsword boost, and maybe a support if that's like applicable to them. But it's like, do I have to do this? Like, is there like no other way? What do I do? Like, what would you have done? Like, do you just go Dagdar or something?
Well, for one, I wouldn't Iron Man Thracia. I think. I mean, honestly, I would probably risk it. That's just, I don't know. I feel like I'm a pretty aggressive player, generally speaking. So yeah, I probably would. But I see where your reservations are coming from, especially with that Master X too. It's just not a good spot.
Yeah, it's not just like all these armors, but also the mages that can also attack someone who is there and like kind of vulnerable. Like even if someone survives by the skin of their teeth, they can still die.
What would annoy me the most, I think, is the fact that if you don't kill him here, he's just gonna heal because he has a vulnerary.
Oh yeah, well if he heals, he's not attacking me, so I would be perfectly okay with that.
Fair enough. Yeah, fair enough.
In fact, that might have been a smarter move actually. Is just stand there and let him heal himself. But no, we're risking it. And
okay, here we go.
And the so we attack, like and then I realized that this guy actually wanted to kill
Homer. No way!
For all this time, I thought he would survive 1 hit, but no, he just straight up dies.
Nice 11%.
It was 11% too. Wow.
It was 11. My condolences. Are you kidding?
Well then.
This game does not want to let you have.
And now I'm like, oh shit, I gotta risk more shit. This is like.
Here comes the 99 miss.
Yeah, or Breath Ice, you know, just for good measure. But no, and then dodges it. She also gets 1 KO, by the way.
Yeah, wow.
Well, so rip Sage, rip Soul Manual, rip Night Proof, rip 5% critical, rip all that work training him up on like 17A. Rip all the things, and we still have 2 generals to kill. And I think there's only 1 person who can do it, but yeah.
Give me a second. Of all the things that I thought would happen when I started this video, that was definitely not one of them.
Yeah, you didn't expect me to just throw Homer out. No flyers, no sages. Oh, nice miss too. Yeah, sure. Like, this shit just falls apart right here.
This was not your day.
Okay, so I can kill 1 general with Dagdar if he just connects with the hammer, right? But I don't think I can cover the other tile. Oh, actually, Nana is covering the other tile while Dagdar covers the left one. So it should be okay.
I don't even know how you're being offensive at all at this point. I would have just backed off. I would have just noped the hell out of there.
Well, if I back off, a ballista is gonna like shoot at someone. And then like,
oh my god.
And then Merida, like for example, if all the mages attack Merida and a ballista attacks her, she has a pretty good chance of death. So, and like I don't think it costs me a whole lot of extra risk to like make sure to just cover the tiles at this point. So I just cover the tiles, and Nana is like technically able to die if she gets hit twice. So that's why I'm trying to figure out a way to rescue drop Leaf close to her so that she gets a support boost and Kingsword boost. And that way I think the general has like 1 hit on her and she should be alright. I mean, should be is like not a very sensible thing to say in Thracia. I think Glade also dies to Master Lance 2 hits, so I can't really have him blocking the mages, I don't think. I might be wrong. But Glade also has to be part of the rescue drop on Leaf if I'm gonna do it. But I think it takes me a while to decide. But fuck this fucking boss, dude. Holy fucking shit, what a... I've never had this much trouble with the map. I blame rustiness for all the mistakes I made on the way here. It's like the part where Parn didn't open the door early enough definitely cost me some flexibility, because you can imagine if I had Fergus further in front to kill the Armor Knights earlier, all of my units would have been a bit more advanced, and I would have needed to take less risks to clear these people out. So
yeah, I would have opened up a few different options, especially approaching that boss. I can see where that did have an effect, but at the end of the day, I'm being perfectly honest, man, you got screwed. 11%.
I mean, it's 1RN, 11%, so it's like not as bad as like some other Fire Emblem games. But it really had to happen on an Iron Man playthrough. It really did.
Yeah, exactly.
Oh well. At least
and it had to be the one guy that would for sure die as well. That's that's unreal.
Frickin' Thracia. I can't believe I didn't notice that Homer just straight up died in one hit. That might have made me change my mind a little bit about what to do. I don't know. That was just a train wreck of a turn all around. So I can think get rid of these Armor Knights already. I want to kill that Bishop and actually get his... I actually want to capture the Bishops for their unlock staff. I forgot if I captured the left one, but I want the right one to be captured. And Finn is pretty good at capturing, as we know.
Oh, absolutely. Brave Lance, all the way.
Yeah, I don't really want to...
Not too much else to use it for anyways, so...
No, not really. He's like out of commission after this map. Also, because like the climax is kind of over at this point, for this part at least. There's a village in the north that has a silent staff, and there's an armory that I kind of just want to visit just for fun. So that's where Livis and Sarah and Xavier are headed when they're done dealing with the doom of Killing Edge Armor Knights. Livis can open the door if the unlock staff bishops don't get to it, but they did. They're like helpful in that regard. I think the unlock staff overall in this chapter is a very funny design. It does so many things at once, where like it unlocks doors that you could hide behind. It unlocks the Armor Knights from attacking you. It's just pretty cool in general. But it also just gives you more options for teaming.
It really just rubs me the wrong way though, because like all they had to do was take their weapons. That's literally it. That was your one job, Leaf.
Okay. But...
You actually needed Dorius to tell you to do that. That's so crazy.
It sounds like something August would remind him of, actually.
You would think.
August, the cynical bastard. I mean, at least it's not. They're not like locking a thief behind a door that like unlocks doors without even using a lockpick. Like, you know, saw happen to like Julian and Ricardo.
Oh my God, yeah. What the hell is Ricardo even doing there? I never thought about that.
But you know, positively speaking, we did block all the reinforcements, you know? That like that little lag you just saw that I think happens in a couple chapters earlier, like chapter 14, that does indicate that we blocked some reinforcements. In this case, the ballistas. And now I think the next thing on the agenda is a couple of meteor mages on like turn 10, I think it might be. Either that or something else.
Around there, yeah.
Either way, everything from here is going to be based around stopping more reinforcements from spawning. I'm not too concerned about EXP, because like there's plenty of opportunity to get some. I think the video pauses here for a little bit.
Okay, I was just about to say.
Yeah, it's not your end. Yeah, it's just a little bit of lag. Just a little bit of lag. Okay, so throws like 2 King Swords at Leaf. He gets 2 at Kyoto, as you can see, like barely, but only 13 hits. So could be wrong. I was like, I will not lie. When I saw he was attacking Leaf, I was like, it's gonna be pretty interesting if he hits, because don't I get like Homer back then? So I get to restart. But I think I made an exception for that in the rules. I was like, no, people who are dead stay dead, even if you have to restart because of Leaf.
Ooh, oh man. I
was pretty harsh for myself when setting the rules, because I didn't want myself to be tempted to like put Leaf in a slightly risky position in some places just to get someone back.
Right.
Like, you don't want that kind of temptation to be part of your playthrough. So I just ruled it out entirely.
No, that's a good idea.
Yeah.
I approve of that.
Yeah. I could pair him with the Thunder Sword, which is pretty funny, because he has like soul, so even if you could like get hit and like get hit hard for some reason, he doesn't, these mages are weak, but if he did, there would be a chance for him to proc soul before the enemy attacks. And then Thunder Sword boosts skill by 5, so I felt pretty clever when doing this. Even though it didn't really end up impacting anything, because Parn has like insane chances to dodge thanks to his like good natural void and Leaf and Nana being there. Like Leaf and Nana together are just such a good support pair that make like everything super broken, because combined they give so much avoid, especially to people that like support Leaf. It's so good.
Oh yeah, most definitely. That King Sword is just way too good. Honestly, one of the most interesting support items I've ever really come across in a Fire Emblem game, in my opinion. Because there's always the temptation to use it, because it's a pretty decent weapon in its own right, but then there's the passive effect It's constantly buffing your hit and avoid as well. So it's kind of like a trade-off in that sense. It's an interesting idea.
Yeah, it has so many uses that I never really feel bad for using it, though. I feel more bad for not using it when Ronan died.
Oh, God.
But yeah, I'm just...
May he rest in peace.
On the big pile of bodies.
This is a war, man. It's just part of the process.
It is the Kaga experience. Kaga did say this game was meant to be Iron Man. He said in an interview. Yeah, I wonder why it's like so good to put the Kingsword on Leaf specifically. Like, I can't really think of a good reason to, besides the fact that he doesn't attack a whole lot. He's more of a mid-game support unit with like his supports and everything. He's just not as good as promoted units.
I think that's probably a lot to do with what it is, because he's forced anyways, and he doesn't have a particularly viable combat niche over any other sword users. So, I mean, if he's got to be there, he may as well be doing something, right?
Yeah.
Not to mention his naturally high number of supports over other units.
Yeah, and just the fact that he like works in tandem with Nana to make people invincible, and the fact that usually you only have like a couple of places at once where in Thracia there's combat happening, so it's very easy to concentrate your support units to a specific area just so that Leaf and Nana can make that unit like very good. Like, for example, in chapter 14, it's very easy to concentrate the combat in the center, even in this map. Like, people are all fighting in the same place roughly, so you can just put Leaf and Nana nearby and almost everyone gets the benefit from it.
And I think that's another thing too. The fact that he supports with Nana on top of all that, it's ridiculous.
Yeah.
She benefits not only from the support, but the Kingsword as well. So that's what, 2020?
Yeah, and Nana's already pretty much
crazy.
invincible if she's not getting attacked by a fucking Master Lance, so. Because Earthsword Wrath is just too OP. In hindsight, I'm pretty happy with Wrath on Nana, even though I don't use it much, just because I didn't end up getting Resire, and the next best candidate is like Lonoan, who is only really good with it if she gets Resire. So Nana is like the best choice, I think. Who else do you even give Wrath to? Like Karen, I guess. I guess Glade, if you want him to be good at fighting, or Fred or something. Because like the really good units are already really good at offensively. Like, no one really has offensive trouble out of like Dagdar and Finn and Orson. All these people are good at fighting already. Also, I captured an unlock staff, which is nice.
Oh, I totally missed it. Yeah.
I don't think I used the one that Tina comes with yet on anything. Maybe like one or two things. I know there's like a couple specific things where I always use unlock on. But I know it's going to be useful in at least the last couple of chapters.
Assuming you did.
Assuming I get there.
Oh god. Have some confidence, man. When you get there.
Decisions. At this point, the map is like, it's not too hard to choke the remaining points, and there's only actually like 10 minutes of video left, so you can already tell that it's not that the hardest part is behind me. It's just a matter of who's gonna block things. I'm considering, like semi-considering, do I allow some enemies to spawn just so that I can get more EXP for someone like Leaf or Merida, but I'm already into like super cautious mode because of that death earlier. So I think I just decided against it and just spread my guys out. I think there's like one more wave of a lot of reinforcements at once that I want to cover. But the very late reinforcements, I think like turn 13 to 15, those all get eliminated if you kill the boss. So they're not an issue.
That is correct, yep.
And Leaf and Xavier and friends, they're all pretty much on schedule to make it to the village. The one thing I did forget to do, which was pretty stupid but not very consequential, is Leaf was meant to give the Night Crest that he pilfered from the chest to Sarah so she could use it, but he just kind of walked past her without trading to her. So now Sarah is gonna like chase after him and be like, "Hey, give me that Night Crest, I want to promote." I feel so bad about how I played this map, because like if you look at it in hindsight, you can think of so many ways that you could make it safer. I could even like do that whole turtling thing where I just retreat people backwards and just have the boss come to me, and like worst comes to worst, I could just warp to the boss with like Fergus and kill him with an Armor Slayer crit. It would have been much less painful, and it probably would have even been easier to get EXP on lower level units like Leaf that way, because everyone would have been more concentrated.
I mean, that's certainly a possibility. I mean, I feel like this is more interesting to watch. But not only that, I think that you can already see where this would get really, really crazy if you had deviated too far from the plan that you had here. Because the reinforcements, I mean, you were just barely able to make this such that the reinforcements that are the most dangerous aren't spawning in and overwhelming you. And it's pretty easy to theorize why this might get a little bit out of hand, especially if you have a more slower, like, laid back kind of play style. If you're not being proactive at all times with this map, it can definitely get crazy. It can definitely get hectic. So I don't feel like just because this map is essentially done on your end does not mean that it's not engaging the whole way through. You know what I mean? It's pretty tricky. It's pretty tricky to do what you did, honestly.
Yeah. I think it was also more viewer friendly, even with all the thinking pauses. It is also definitely the way I'm used to playing this map, is going forward, killing enemies, and then blocking reinforcements. I remember on my first playthrough, I didn't block reinforcements because I had no idea where they were exactly going to come from, and I did just fine. I don't think I restarted a whole lot on my first playthrough. Then again, my units were super broken on my first playthrough. I think I had like a capped strength Karen at this point or something. And like it's a lot of build too, because I'm arena abusing and scroll abusing, so shit was pretty hectic. And by hectic I mean super boring once all my units were overpowered. And then the couple playthroughs after, I think I'd saw some like online speedruns and shit, and those obviously always end up blocking reinforcements just to save time. Like that alone is a good enough reason. Here I'm just like making absolutely sure I'm covering the right tiles. I'm using the bushes and the broken walls to find out where exactly I need to move, because the lower row of tiles is like fairly hard to tell apart sometimes to where the reinforcements come. But I'm pretty sure I got it right. I just count the bush as well, and that way I know where to put people so that the reinforcements don't spawn. It's like a kind of on-off formation, if that makes sense. It's like the part where the left hero is, and then the part where Glade goes, and then the tiles in between are no reinforcements. But I think at this point it's just a matter of spamming enter and hoping units are in the right places. And if they're not, whatever. Screw this.
Yeah, I mean, like, what's one guy
if WOD is wrong, screw this whole playthrough.
Playthrough cancelled.
Sorry guys, next one. Better luck next time. I mean,
what were you looking at here?
Probably just more reinforcement data. I think at this point I figured out how to not pause my emulator during recording, so that I could check WOD without anyone noticing. Well, yeah, I think turn 10 is when the meteor mages come. It's only 4 of them or something, but combined those can still kill someone with low resistance if they're like kind of bad. I'm very glad that Lifus didn't have to be at the front alliance to open doors, because he's one of the most vulnerable people I have. He has like low luck and low HP and low everything else.
Starting position for him was actually pretty friendly, I have to say.
Yeah, I think him and Parn started very close, so I could like choose where to bring them, which is very nice. And like Sarah, I was also very fragile, so I was very glad to have her near the armor room. Xavier would be okay on the front lines, although there is a lot of mages, so maybe not the best ever. And all my fighting units ended up, like all my really good fighting units ended up at the bottom. I guess Laura is like vulnerable, but she spawned near someone who could block her off from like enemy combat sometime.
Yeah, and with Laura, worst case scenario, she's like the perfect capture bait, so like...
Yeah. Capture bait is... I guess that would have been a very nice option too. Maybe I should have tried capture baiting the generals, but I'm never really sure about trying to capture bait on stationary enemies, and bosses especially are very... Some of the bosses I know don't capture. I'm not sure which ones, but I would imagine this one doesn't, for example. And then
what really sketches me out is 1 to 2 range, and I know a lot of those guys did have master weapons, so that maybe not the smartest thing, or maybe not the safest thing, I guess.
Yeah, the thing is,
especially in terms of an Iron Man.
Yeah, and like the thing is, if you put Lara in position to be captured by one of the generals, then she's also in range to be attacked at range by the boss, for example. So if the order is different than what you expect, then yeah. Okay, so I'm just showing off this shop real quick, but there's nothing I really want. I got a lot of Thunder Tomes, and everything else is like whatever. I buy like 1 vulnerary just so it doesn't feel like I did it for nothing. Vulnerary is OP in this game. I mean, come on, it's like an elixir for 300 gold. How can you refuse?
Yeah, good point, good point.
And there we go. Just when you thought you ran out of sages.
She's so frail, though. I mean, if you thought that Homer was bad, I don't know how much fighting Sarah's really going to be able to do.
Yeah, but at least in the case of Sarah, it's very easy to remember that she dies in 1 hit. Unlike Homer, who I kind of expected to take a hit.
Yeah, see, you would think that, but... Oh my god, those Sage promotion games just never get old. It's just so broken.
Yeah. The funny thing about Sarah is she has B staves at base. Wow, that's a very tough thing to say. So she just always gets A when promoting, unlike Lenoan who has C at base and then gets B when promoting. Unless she like raised her rank a little bit, but I didn't. I haven't fielded Lenoan in a long time, it feels like. But she's gonna promote soon, don't worry. But yeah, now it's just a matter of spamming enter, and that's pretty much it. So, what are your thoughts on the whole thing? Do you like it? Were you scared?
I can't, Homer, man. That threw me off. I thought you would have a solid grasp on this, just because we talked about this a little bit before, but I never. No, that was crazy.
I was definitely worse than I thought. Now we get Dermot. Yay.
Doesn't Solis show up?
Later.
I thought he did. Later?
Not in
my
this
bad.
convo.
Spoiler alert!
What's the point of sending a messenger if you're like gonna show up yourself? Shouldn't take too long to take on Elster, says Selef casually.
And just in case anybody's curious where this fits into the timeline, this is essentially the end of Chapter 7, just for the record.
I
don't know if anybody cares about little trivia like that, but yeah, there you go.
Mm-hmm. If Nana is not alive, then Dermot will not join you, but thankfully
Really?
Yeah. He just says, oh, Nana isn't here. Wow, that's depressing. Bye.
Well, you're really shit, Leaf. See ya.
Yeah. This is also the chapter where, in an older run I did, my Lenoan had been captured in chapter 19, because I left her behind for draft reasons. And then Dean just went to leave and said, I'm out. Bye. I was like, what the hell are you doing, man? And why are you doing it now? Why didn't you do it in chapter 19? It was so weird. But yeah, I just straight up lost Dean in that playthrough too.
I love little details like that, though. It kind of it makes sense. I mean, I should imagine that somebody like Delmud would be very upset if his sister that he was expecting to be there turns out she was dead. You know what I mean? Mm-hmm. It's got to be heartbreaking.
I mean, this is like a pretty heartbreaking thing in general between Dermot and Nana, where like one of them finds out that their mom might just be dead, and the other one's like, no, there might be alive. I'm gonna look for her later. Don't worry. But yeah, this is. I think their reunion is 94 as well. It's like slightly different, but man, Thracia, man, always makes me feel for people, especially Homer. All right, and with that, we're gonna be out. So thanks for coming along. Thanks for watching.
Thanks for having me, man.
All right, see you guys later. Bye.
Peace.